Bueno, buenos días, bienvenidos a esta escuela que se organiza como resultado de colaboración que hay entre la Universidad de Bath, la UNAM y el CIMAT. Este es uno de los varios encuentros que ha habido. Me parece que es el sexto, ¿sí? El sexto. Y en esta ocasión, este book, así se les llama a los encuentros que hay entre BAD, UNAM y CIMAT, está dedicado a esta escuela de análisis aplicado a la física matemática y a la ciencia de materiales. Eh, bueno, primero van a hablar unos compañeros que han participado precisamente en la posibilidad de que haya esta colaboración entre estas instituciones. Primero va a decir unas palabras, Kirill.
Uh, Buenos dias. Thank you very much for being here. So we are a group of uh, four who came from Bath to this meeting. So this is, as Luis said, this is a series of meetings that was conceived by Andreas Cipriano, I believe, a probabilist in Bath. And now sort of is more and more people are getting involved, and we hope that we manage, as part of this initiative, we manage to develop a program of activities in analysis. And so analysis here is understood in the wide sense. We would like to get as many people involved as possible. Any areas of analysis, really. I won't list them now. It will take a couple of minutes, right? So, but here at IIMAS, for example, there are a couple of groups who work in different branches of analysis. So everyone is welcome to take part. And basically, so this time around we have a double bill. So one meeting here, this spring school, and then a workshop also on applied analysis of PDEs and functionals in Merida, which has been organized, well, in conjunction with our colleagues at CIMAT and CIMAT in Merida, the CIMAT branch in Merida. And of course Luis, I would like to thank Luis in particular for for all the things that he has done to make this meeting possible. So I myself did very little. So thank you very much. And also he likewise has been co-organizing the meeting in Merida. Right. So I'll just mention that book is part of the wider efforts, sort of part of the wider collaboration between the universities as a whole. So University of Bath and UNAM are strategic partners. Well, I would prefer not to go into details what it about on what this means. It's a long story. Maybe Ramses will tell more about this. So there is an agreement. There is an official agreement that basically envisages several directions in which the universities collaborate, and that means that all of us, people who work, well, mathematicians and people in other subjects, of course, can benefit from this collaboration through student exchanges and so on. So if there are any students who are thinking about going and spending some time in Bath, then maybe you can approach either Ramses or myself, or well, anyone who or Luis also. So we will all be able to all of us will be able to direct you, to put you in the right direction, right? And basically, it can be just a visit, a 6-month visit, for example, to carry out some the work to carry out some work in your area of interest, or it can be something more substantial. So, because I understand that there is this issue here that people are not always very keen on using CONACYT money to go abroad, because it's like, well, taking advantage of the sort of Mexican resources to take them elsewhere. But for some people it works. So and there have already been examples of this. Well, mostly in Andreas Cipriano's group, several people. Well, I don't know how many. Ramses again will develop on this. And of course, well, it doesn't just mean taking Mexican resources elsewhere. You will then be able to come back and also take part in this initiative in particular and develop your own research agenda and your own academic career. Maybe being part of this collaboration efforts as well. So you could then come back to Mexico and sort of develop relevant activities in your own area, right? So either way, it's just a great opportunity to have some joint research, and as far as I'm concerned, and so if anyone has any questions about this, you are very encouraged to approach us and we can have a chat. Yeah. Okay. So well, thank you very much. I'll pass it to Ramses now.
Thanks, Kirill. Well, I love when people invite you to say some words and they already said everything, right? But I mean, I'll probably, shall I do it in Spanish or in English? It's the same. For the sake of you guys, it's not the same. You speak English only, right? Okay. So yeah, as Kirill mentioned, the book story came out of the initiative by 3 institutions. First, it was just UNAM and Bath, and searching for a way to officialize, say, the relationship, the academic relationship that we already have. Point aside, I'm very happy to see Kirill here. We were students together at Bath a long time ago. And then the idea is that we create a forum to foster research, to foster student exchange, to foster activities. And if you look at the webpage, and you can browse there in some directions, we are also trying to involve industrial applications of mathematics, which is actually a nice venture we are trying to do now. The point is that the whole story, I will devote to say a bit of the story so they know a bit, started with an umbrella collaboration between UNAM and Bath. And the story came out of we have the right to do certain things as a student. As an undergraduate student, you can go there and spend some time without paying, which is the benefit that we get from the University of Bath. So we as Mexicans put money from CONACYT, but also the University of Bath puts his efforts and his money from his fees, because we don't have to pay fees for either undergrads or for master exchange programs of 6 months, up to 6 months. So you can go there, take part of a master program at Bath, which lasts for a year only. So you're essentially taking half of it for free if you are a postgraduate student here. And this is something that is happening already, and many students have gone. At least I can mention 5, 6 exchange students. There are some of them that stay there as a PhD students as well, which is also very good. And of course there are being already PhD supervised by supervisors from both places. The case of Andreas and one of our department. I don't know if you guys have already a student, but so it is like the platform to develop these kind of mathematical activities. And it's something that it was happening already, but it gives the platform to actually have the funds to do it, right? So it's very easy for CONACYT to justify these kind of activities. So if you browse there, this is the 6th edition of the events that we are having, but there are other 2 already programmed, And there is a third one coming in August here of pollution data, and we are trying to develop some statistical models for pollution as well. There is another one in biology by Ramon and his other colleagues from BAD. And of course, you are welcome to ask any kind of questions. There is some information there, but keep in mind that it's not only events, right? They have all other things involved with that, like you mentioned already, student exchange programs with with BAD University, which you don't have to pay for if you're already at UNAM or at CIMAT as well. And then that's a very nice thing to say. What else can I mention? Well, you can see some of the pictures there of BAD. Is a very nice place for those. I reckon most of you are Mexican students. So, but BAD is a very, very nice environment to study and to spend some time there as well. So you consider following one of the topics of this excellent school. I think that's an idea. I mean, you can spend some time there. Nothing. I think you just welcome and then carry on with your super nice event, which is part of the 2 events I just learned. And then I'm sure it's going to be a success. If there are any questions, just approach me. You can also approach Silvia Ruiz Velasco, who is the coordinator of the maths postgraduate students, and she has all the information of the bureaucracy you need to do this change, right, as well.
Well, welcome, in particular those who came from England, a long trip. And there was a lot of information already, general information. So I will mainly give some, the details of the school for the students, right? So this is applied analysis, mathematical physics, material science. Now, analysis it has a long tradition of importance in application to physics, material science, related areas, and in particular functional analysis, which is going to be one of the main topics here. A little bit of history, mainly in concern with the quantum mechanical part of this school. Functional analysis, to a large extent, through the work of von Neumann, played a very important role since the very beginning of quantum mechanics and, say, quantum physics. And, it's interesting how this, function. Many of the great physicists of the beginning of the century who made quantum mechanics, with some exceptions like Fox, for example, were great physicists, but they were not so mathematically inclined. And what happens is that, at least at the beginning, the mathematics of classical physics was good enough to understand the Schrödinger equation. There was some algebra, matrix theory, and it is often mentioned that Heisenberg, when created quantum mechanics, which is now what we call the algebraic approach to quantum mechanics of the Heisenberg picture, he somehow rediscovered matrices, because he was not aware perhaps of existence. But then there was von Neumann, who very early understood the mathematics of quantum physics, in particularly operator theory, operator algebras, and he wrote a book which is still it's a classical book. Very early, the book appeared in the early 30s, and in a sense we are still working on von Neumann's ideas. And a great deal of the functional analysis and the operator theory was motivated by quantum physics, and in particular by von Neumann's work. And so this is going to be one of the subjects that will be discussed in this school. And there are, 2 talks or 2 lectures, series of lectures, one by Luis Silva and the other one by myself, which are quantum mechanical, not only, but spectral theory, scattering theory, topics that are has a very long tradition in quantum physics. And then there are also the lectures of, titles are Analysis of Thing and Singular Structures from Quantum Graph to Elastic Framework by Sherenychenko from Bath, who is the same type of topics, but there is there perhaps also an emphasis in problems from quantum graph. This certainly is a topic of great deal of interest now in the mathematical physics of quantum physics, and it has to do with the structures which are very thin in one, say, transversal direction, and like nanotubes and quantum wires and so on, where there is a simplification by assuming that this transversal section is actually zero, but you have to take the limit and so on. And there are many important mathematical issues in analysis, in functional analysis, related to that question. And then there is the lecture by Shane Cooper, also from Bath, and he will talk in analysis of wave propagation in highly heterogeneous periodic media via two-scale homogenization techniques. This is also a very important topic of great contemporary interest. And there are issues in metamaterials, which are artificial materials that have very specific and unusual electromagnetic properties in the context of periodic structures and so on. So this school is going to be, there is a core in analysis and in functional analysis, but there are a variety of applications. This is why we say mathematical physics. There we're thinking mainly about, quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and material science, which of course is also mathematical physics, but somehow with a different emphasis. So I believe the lectures here will give the students quite a broad perspective of some of the important areas of research in contemporary, mathematical material science and mathematical physics, in the context of analysis and, functional analysis. So for those of you who are interested in those areas, I hope you will learn many things here. And so welcome again, and we should start, right?